Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we just got the next core set announced, and this could be huge. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can come part notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out Duelist Advance. So this set could be absolutely huge and game-changing for Yu-Gi-Oh! This set is actually going to be really interesting because this set is going to contain cards from the Animation Chronicle, which is going to be really interesting because this set is going to be the first core booster pack of the fiscal year of 2025, Duelist Advance. And this set also says that it's going to contain cards related to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, The Chronicles, the promotional short anime series starting in April 2025, which is going to be released on YouTube, which is really interesting for this. So this set could contain some really interesting archetypes, and it can contain some awesome new cards that we're going to be seeing. But this is actually going to be a core set, which is going to be super cool. Now this set we already know is probably going to contain Sky Striker support, and it's going to continue the Albaz lore, which is going to be amazing because Albaz released so many cool different archetypes, being like the Fallen of Albaz, the branded archetype, Ice Jade, Sword Soul, Spriggans, Tri Brigade. All those were released during the Fallen of Albaz basically lore. So we're going to see a lot of stuff for those archetypes hopefully in this next set. And something else to note about this is this might end the nostalgic cycle where they're going to be basing, like for the previous time we've always had sets that were based around the original 6 series, and this could actually change that, which would be really interesting because of something super interesting. So in the cycle of Yu-Gi-Oh packs for core sets, there's always a color scheme. And I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but you should definitely notice that about different packs. And usually at the end of an era, we always have a white pack for the background. And Alliance Insight is a white pack. The beginning of an era is always a green pack, if you guys have noticed, besides Legend of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, which was a blue pack. So usually at the end of a series, we do have a white pack followed by a green pack. So you always have to notice that about the color scheme because they follow a color scheme when you look at the packs in Yu-Gi-Oh! For the core sets only. So this could be really interesting because this pack should be a green pack in the lore, or in the line, excuse me, of the core booster sets, which is a really interesting thing. And also, usually they contain Duelist in the name when they are green pack to be able to start a cycle anew. We had Rise of the Duelist that started a whole new nostalgic era of Yu-Gi-Oh packs, which was really interesting. We had a bunch of different packs that started new eras that were all green packs. So that's something really interesting as a takeaway for this particular new set. And also, it's probably going to end the 25th anniversary. I believe Alliance Insight was the final set that we were going to get for the 25th anniversary cards. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that is the case, that we are going to see no more 25th anniversaries. And this is going to contain 20 prismatic secret rares and 20 secret rares from each of the cards included in this product, which is pretty interesting that this set is going to actually have so many different secret rares in this particular set. Now we might see that in the TCG as well, I'm not sure. We might see prismatic secret rares as the new thing instead of 25th anniversaries, because it wouldn't be great to just have secret rares in the set after going for so long with Starlight rares and then having the 25th anniversary cards and then just having nothing. We have to have something that's really interesting in the packs to be able to drive the collector's market. And so I feel like seeing something like prismatic secret rares might be really interesting for the TCG of those secret rares that we already would be getting in the set, or even commons upgraded into prismatic secret rares would be really interesting overall. But I feel like that could be really interesting for this particular set. But this set is scheduled to be able to release on April 26th, 2025. So we should be seeing some more interesting things about the set in the coming weeks and months. And I'm really excited for this set because this could actually spell the beginning of an entire new era for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's going to be based around the Chronicles, which is a short series that is going to be released on YouTube by Yu-Gi-Oh! And Konami, which is super cool. I really like that we're actually getting an animated series based around the cards, because ever since they released that Chronicles long short, or that long video on YouTube, it's always been something at the back of people's minds that we've wanted to see a Yu-Gi-Oh anime not based on duelists and characters, but based on the actual monsters, like Dual Terminal lore, the Sky Striker cards, the Albaz lore, World Legacy. All of those need their own show, and need, even if it's a short, like almost like what Pokemon did with Journey, it'd be really cool to actually see that on YouTube, where they actually show the lore in the actual, like an actual show. Like, it'd be so cool to actually see that. But overall, this is really interesting, and I really think this is going to have some cool, like, different archetypes, and then we're going to see some new archetypes as well, which is going to be really awesome about this. And I hope that we get to see some really awesome new support cards for cards like Dogmatica, stuff like that, for the entire Albaz lore. We might even see stuff for stuff that we saw in that long animated series that we saw on the official Konami and Yu-Gi-Oh page, where we saw like Six Samurai, Blue Eyes, and stuff like that. But I'm not so sure, because we also saw a lot of those archetypes that were in that animated short, or that animated video for the different archetypes when they announced it. We already have seen a lot of those be turned into cards like Six Samurai, Exodia, Blue Eyes, White Dragon, Sky Striker's gotten support, even, but we haven't seen support for the Albaz lore since then, which is really interesting that they're actually announcing that this is going to have Albaz in it, and it will probably also have Sky Striker in it, which is really interesting. And it's not confirmed yet, but it is going to be based around Chronicles, and these are the two promotional pictures that we've seen so far. So it's easy to assume that one of these might even be the cover card of the set, which is why I think we might be getting out of the nostalgic era of Yu-Gi-Oh and moving into something else, which would be really interesting overall. Because recently, in the past year, since Rise of the Duelist, we've seen stuff like Gaia the Fierce Knight be a cover card, where they had the Gaia the Magical Knight be a cover card. We've seen stuff like Armed Dragon Thunder, upgraded versions of old boss monsters turned into new archetypes and new monsters. Even recently, we got Code Talker Adagnister, which is support for the Adagnister archetype for Alliance Insight, where we have basically ace boss monsters and ace cards of rivals, villains, and main characters be turned into basically the cover card. And they're basically using that nostalgia to be able to sell sets and be able to make new sets, which is really interesting overall. But this is going to be a really big set. I really feel like this is going to be a big change for Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's a welcome change overall for me, because I am super excited for the Chronicles shorts, or the Chronicles videos that are going to be released on the YouTube videos that they're going to be making for Yu-Gi-Oh's page, because it could be really big. It could be a big change. It could be really nice. We've wanted a new series for a long time, and this might be it. This might be the big series that we want to see, something that's different from Rush Duel, because we haven't had a new series since Vrains for the TCG, and we're finally getting something like that, but in the form of YouTube videos instead of an actual full-fledged series. And I hope that they continue this. So definitely be able to, definitely watch them, because if they see good turnout for this, then we might get more of this, and they might continue to be making these so that we can see more of the lore through videos instead of just looking at the cards, where we can piece those together. And they'll even make more archetypes based on those videos, depending on the viewership that they get, hopefully for future core sets. And it'd be a great move for Yu-Gi-Oh and Konami for advertisement stakes, and to be able to actually see some really interesting lore be played out in front of us, instead of just seeing the pictures on the cards. We could actually see it played out. Like, could you imagine seeing the Shadows coming into creation? Could you imagine seeing the World Legacy events playing out? Could you imagine seeing Evil Swarm taking over in Dual Terminal, or the Infernoids rising up? That would be so cool to actually see as an animated series. And that's so amazing that they're actually making packs based around that, where we're going to see a lot of different lore coming out of these cards, because at this point, that's what drives Yu-Gi-Oh! Is nostalgia and lore, and it's really cool that they're actually expanding upon that with an animated series on YouTube, and they're actually expanding upon that in a new pack as well, which is really, really cool. So overall, I think this is going to be a big change for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think it's going to be a welcome change for a lot of people because it's going to help out the game a lot, and it's really cool that we're actually getting Duelist Advance in April, and I'm really excited to see this. It's going to be in the OCG, so we're probably going to see this pack come out in September, I believe, August, September-ish for us, and so that's going to be really cool. So stay tuned for this. I'm going to stay on top of this for you guys to see what's going to be happening with this set because I'm super excited about it, and maybe we'll see something announced in the coming months. So that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, become part of notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.